Harbourside FC would like to offer a big welcome to minor soccer athletes from around Nanaimo and the Central Island area. Thank you so much for joining us for this afternoon's games. Just a reminder, the VIU Mariners are hosting youth soccer camps in August 1st to 4th for boys and August 15th to 17th for girls. Train with the VIU Mariners, student athletes and coaches. Register today at gomariners.ca. Just look for the camps link.
A game with massive playoff implications is just a few minutes away as Harbourside FC welcome TSS Rovers to Kikinishtuk Stadium in Nanaimo on Vancouver Island. And a chance for TSS to clinch a playoff spot, or for Harbourside to push the battle one more week. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Alex Ronsley. Pleasure to be on the call with you here today as Harbourside FC welcome, for the first time in League One history here to Nanaimo, the TSS Rovers. We'll get to our pregame here in a second. For now, we'll pause for the national anthem. These two teams separated by just a single point in the standings heading into action here this afternoon. TSS has that advantage. 5-2-5 is their record so far this season. 17 points up on Harbourside with a record of 5-1-6. That's for 16 points. The equation is relatively simple. If TSS win here today, they clinch that fourth playoff spot. However, a Harbourside win or a draw would result in this battle continuing into next week. The TSS Rovers have the Victoria Highlanders in Victoria. Harbourside have Altitude FC here in Nanaimo. Key for the women is to get back into the win column. They're coming off an 8-0 loss to the Vancouver Whitecaps last weekend, snapped a 4-game winning streak and tied for their heaviest loss of the season back earlier this campaign to Nanaimo. Put that one in the rearview mirror and move on. TSS Rovers coming off a win against Nanaimo. Kyra Armenta getting a late winner in the second half of that one. We saw it in the men's game, which went at 1 o'clock. Weather, a big factor here today. 28 degrees at pitch level this hour. It'll only get hotter as the game goes on. A pretty steady breeze moving from our right to left, which we saw in the men's game, which went at 1, which TSS were victorious in by a 3-2 score. A lot of the clearances held up in the wind from left to right and given a little bit of extra distance from right to left. So that is absolutely a factor here today. Harbourside's starting lineup. It looks very familiar as the team has settled in, and the results are backing this up. Settled into a fairly consistent 11 to start here. A bit of a change in midfield, but we'll talk about that as the game goes on. Emily Robotham in net for Harbourside. She's taken the lion's share of starts and game action this season. Kira Dunlop and Larissa Stefanik, along with Jillian Stewartson, 3 in the middle. The two wing-backs, Nicole Foglietta and Cassidy Byrne on the left and right side, respectively. Two-player midfield of Ava Alexander, who has been lights out offensively over recent weeks with Saki Mashida. And then Karen and Shay Batty left and right in an attacking mid-role, supporting Erin Jensen, who wears the armband here this afternoon. For the TSS Rovers, it'll be May Hobenshield in net for them. And then Famera Ma, Sue Merck, Scott Canny, Dolzal Friesen, who is their major offensive threat. We'll talk about her as the game rolls on. Verk, and then the player which got that late game winner last weekend against Nanaimo, number 24, Kyra Armenta, will be on the field as well. Substitutes for TSS Rovers, Tynan, Ibel, Elcom, Isel, Fennel, Gemmel, and Pak Tung Tang. For Harbourside, we didn't get to the substitutions. Caden Thorpe is the backup goalkeeper here this afternoon. Ella Gignac, Megan Liniger, Courtney Ingram, Carly Ray Meyer Creed, and Maddie Dawson. Harbourside will move from our left to right in this first half. And they will have first touch of the ball as well with the kickoff. Get back in the win column. That is what Harbourside needs to do. They've been rounding into form as well the last few weeks. 4 out of 5 wins this season coming from June onward. Outscoring opponents 13-4 during that streak. Last time out here in Nanaimo, they were dominant throughout much of the game in what wound up being a pretty comprehensive 4-1 victory over Rivers. They will need that again today against the TSS Rovers team, which is 1 point ahead of them in the standings. As we said earlier, the equation is pretty simple. Rovers win, they move on to the playoffs. Harbourside win or a neutral result basically pushes it down to the final weekend of the season. Players are set. Referee is ready to go. And we are underway here at Kikinishtuk in Nanaimo. Pleasure to have you on board. Harbourside from our left to right in their blue jerseys with the lighter blue and white trim. TSS from our right to left in their red jerseys with the white trim in there as well. Rovers with the throw put in there is Bacani. Aaron Jensen will be a focal point for the Harbourside offense. 3 goals, one of 4 players with a trio of goals on the season so far. Harbourside doing a good job spreading out their offense. You see a lot of teams with that one danger threat up front. Harbourside have been able to share the load in that respect. Machida to Stewardson. Plays out left side, Foglietta. To Dunlop. Pass, didn't have much on it, was pressured, and here come Rovers. Chance back the other way, but Dunlop able to get in the way, cut off the streaking Rovers forward of the number 20 of Delana Friesen, excuse me. And cleared back out to midfield. Ava Alexander, she's one of those quartet of players who have scored 3 goals in a Harbourside jersey this season. The others outside of Alexander and Jensen, Taylor Kinley is the other one, and Emma Skalick, who is not playing here this afternoon. Karen Badliel on that far side. Machida coming to help out. Ball still along that right touchline. Good pressure early on as Rovers back to the goalkeeper and cleared down the right side. Dunlop and her check. Friesen shoulder to shoulder once more. There's a play down the right side, I should say. Stefanik able to clear it away. Alexander. Ball shouldered down, and it's taken by Stewardson. Harbourside give it up, and it's controlled at midfield there by Strisik. Alexander threatening, able to take a ball away. His Shea Batty right side has the honor of the first ever Harbourside FC goal. The through ball hits Jensen. Right side of the area, looks to cross, gets one in, but it's all the way along the deck. Only red jerseys there, plus the green of Rovers goalkeeper. And easily gathered in and taken. Good pace early. Pace will be an interesting one to watch. There is a pretty persistent breeze, but it's also very hot. And that breeze either turns or stops for a moment, and you can feel the heat. And, I mean, we're in the shade, so tack on a few more degrees at pitch level, but 28's the reading just before kickoff here this afternoon. Dunlop. Little give and goal on that left side with Foglietta. Up the wing, played by Karen Batty. Batty will get it along this left side. Check that, Foglietta. Going for a run after it. She's got Batty in support. Plays to the middle. Jensen, the intended target, never really got its way there. Play through middle. Rovers with control. Here's Elcom. Stripped though. Batty down the left side. She'll go for a run. Here's Kieran Batty. She's got Shea and Jensen in support. Batty to goal, and it's harmlessly wide and rolls over the goal line at the 18-yard box. Good early push. Harbourside's had a bulk of the territory, a bulk of the possession. It's been interesting to see how the players sort of deal with the heat. We will get the drinks break midway through each half. You're already seeing a couple of players from each side sort of tuck the sleeves up on their jersey, just trying to get a little bit of extra breeze, dissipate the heat. Machida to Alexander. Ball played through Jensen. Back to goal. Gives it to Stewartson. Support out near side. Here's Cassidy Byrne. Now for Shea Batty. Plays to the middle. Machida. To Byrne. The middle for Alexander. Looking to turn and go, and she does. Alexander from a long way out was falling, getting that shot away. Didn't have much on it. It trickles to goal and reeled in quickly by goalkeeper Hobenshield. You can hear the wind, at least I can hear the wind in my headset on the crowd mic that we have set up. Got a couple of them just a few feet away from me here to try and pick up some of the communication that you hear on the field. Bacani comes back, and that's played by Dolsal. Now up through the middle, and a nice chance, but just couldn't drag it with her. There was Friesen. Rovers will kick it out along this left side. Here's Nikki Verk. Byrne tracking her. Verk still on it. Into the area. Crosses loose, and it's offside. Good pinch. Both Dunlop and Stefanik made the step up and left Elcom all alone, basically on the dot, but she was well offside. Knew it as soon as the ball came to her. Was able to slot it home past Robotham, but will mean nothing. Just past 6 minutes gone in this first half. Still scoreless. Ball knocked down to field level. Here's Friesen. Dunlop has not left her side all game. And when you're one of the leading scorers in League One, to have a player like Cara Dunlop on you, that's going to be a tough assignment to get offense going. Dunlop, the 2022 CCAA Player of the Year, was a stalwart with a VAU Mariners program over several seasons, and a very, very good VAU Mariners program as well. Aaron Jensen looking for it. Ball kicks out left side for Karen Batty. Did well in traffic to get away from her check of Amanda Scott. Played to Jensen. Back to Karen Batty. Outside the area. Gets a shot away. Two bounces in towards Hobenshield. The finishing hasn't quite been there yet from Harbourside. They're not getting a whole ton inside 18 yards. A free kick will go for, I believe, a handball on Friesen, regardless of foul. And the finish just hasn't been there from Harbourside. They haven't really been able to get much inside 18 yards, but they are controlling. This game has been played predominantly inside attacking territory for Harbourside. Ball at midfield. Maddie Ma plays it up. Friesen, the target, comes back to Ma. Communication there. Here's Nikki Verk left side. She'll go for a run once more. Verk just on the edge of the area, trying to track in. Cuts in, opens up, right side, dishes off, but it's a good kick by Stewartson. Able to knock it away. Comes back to Ma. Her entry denied. Chance again. Jensen tracking back. A good shoulder-to-shoulder tackle. Strips her of the ball. And Shea Batty right side will go. Has Alexander in the middle. The pass just didn't have much on it. And Rovers able to regather. Here's Ma. Into the middle. Elcom. Comes back and Rovers set to regroup. Streisek. Up through the middle. Through ball. Here's Bacani trying to get a step on Stefanik. Stefanik able to get back. Good body position. As Rovers tried to dish on a support play, but Foglietta read it well and was able to nullify any sort of attack. Ball just sort of in no man's land. Everybody ran away from it. It was eventually Ma to go back and grab it. Rovers establishing themselves now. Chance from a long way out. That one off the boot there of Elcom. It goes into the corner but stays in play. Foglietta and Herchak in that corner, and it's a tackle. It'll be a free kick. Thought for a second referee would let that one go, but play whistle down, and it'll come on a free kick close to the touchline. About 8 or 9 yards away from the corner. When that breeze stops, you feel the heat. You feel you feel it radiate. Free kick here for Rovers. First set piece of the game with any sort of offensive challenge to it, but Robotham equal to that as the free kick right in towards her and an easy grab. Emily Robotham will survey her options, ushering the play up. And she'll clear long right side to Shea Batty. As we said earlier, has the honor, the first ever Harbourside FC goal, all the way back at the end of April. Suka Bahari scored in the men's game after that as well, but Batty was the first. Byrne had to hustle back to tow it to Robotham. Played up Jensen, but offside. It will be eventually whistled down. So Erin Jensen just coming in from an offside position to take advantage of that positioning. Hannah Browning, the referee. Kelsey Carruthers, who is the fourth official in the men's game. And Sebastian Tutten, the linesman today. Fourth official, Garrett Watson, manning the subs. With speed down the right side is Maddie Elcom. Looking to try and center, was stripped of it. And Robotham dangerous. Nutmegged Friesen to get that ball cleared. That is a risky play on a last line of defense, but Harbourside get away with it. Here's Jensen. Just stepped on it. Her opposing captain, Dolsal, takes it away. Tries to center off a heel of Stefanik. Comes back out to midfield. Jensen will boot it back to Byrne, and she'll send it up the right wing. Shea Batty going for a run after it. She'll latch onto a pass. Here's a chance. Shea Batty, one-on-one. Shoots, she scores! Shea Batty breaks the deadlock. It's her third of the season, and Harbourside on a long stretch play down the right wing. Unleash Shea Batty, and it's 1-0. Shea Batty just getting on one and able to stay with it. Uses the speed down the right side. Got a shot away from probably about 12 yards out. Low, beat the goalkeeper. And it's 1-0. So her third of the season coming in the 12th minute. We've been talking about her. She's now scored a couple of times here on this field. And now 5 players on a Harbourside lineup which have scored 3 goals this season. Shea Batty joins them with the effort here in the 12th minute. Great play down the right side. Cassidy Byrne, the long pass down the wing. Not to be overlooked in that play either. So Harbourside playing with the lead in this pivotal matchup. A win here for Harbourside would put them into 4th position. However, as we said, Rovers coming into this with that 1-point advantage. So still would control at least some of their own fate. But, I mean, we are 13 minutes and change into this one. Let's not get talking about next week when we've got so much to go this week. Friesen a pass ahead, but it is well offside as Maddie Elcom just sort of standing still. And again, it's the step up from Stefanik and Dunlop. Not sure if it was just the early sort of passages of play or if it's a shift from Rovers, but had noticed Friesen more on the right side of the attack and Elcom more on this near side to start. That then linked Friesen with Dunlop. We were talking about that matchup earlier. Friesen's now come to this left side in what sort of is shaping up, at least right now, as a bit of a 4-4-2 kind of formation. So Dunlop, or rather, I should say Friesen gets away from Dunlop but has to deal with Stefanik. Free kick coming from a long way out, just north of 30 yards for Harbourside. Ava Alexander will jump onto it. So Ava Alexander from 32 yards out. I have to think this will be a cross, or she's got Cassidy Byrne to her right. Shea Batty is also on the corner of the penalty area. Alexander, though, will fire it right into the wall. It'll fall nicely for Harbourside. Alexander will get it back. Now deliver over the left side, but Foglietta, a mile offside, just lets that ball go, and it will go out for a goal kick. So Shea Batty, the difference right now. Harbourside, a 1-0 lead. 15 minutes in the books of this first half. I would imagine between 20 and 25 minutes we'll get the water break, barring, or I guess assuming a stoppage. 28 degrees at pitch level, forecasted high of 29 today. Feels, or will feel warmer when you factor in humidity and wind speed, direction, etc. Certainly, as we've been saying, when those gusty winds end, and when they stop for a bit, you get the radiating heat. So it's a hot one out there. Interesting to watch the management of the subs bench as well, and how long we go before we get our first changes. The men's game, we saw a couple sprinkled in at 45. Nothing really out of the ordinary, nothing that you would kind of chalk up to heat, although we did see a couple of players cramp towards the end of that game. Good boot by Dunlop, able to take a chance away there from Elcom to advance the ball. Ball right at midfield on the throw for Rovers. Knocked down. Strysek. Back to the goalkeeper, Hobenschild. Rovers once more down that right side. That is for Elcom. All played up and ahead. Friesen's going to run onto it. She's got half a step on Stefanik, but Stefanik coming, trying to make life difficult. Friesen, it doesn't matter. Steps around and scores. Delana Friesen's 7th of the year. Got a half a step on Larissa Stefanik. Stefanik did well to track her down, but Friesen able to beat the check, step around Robotham, and we're tied up at 1. And the TSS Rovers fan section, again, the smirk comes out. They had 3 reasons to cheer, plus a win after 90 or so minutes during the men's game. And TSS able to get in behind the Harbourside D.
TSS Rovers goal scored by number 20, Joanna Friesen.
So Friesen's 7th of the year comes in the 17th minute. And ties this up at 1. And Rovers control. They've certainly, we were talking earlier about how a bulk of the play has been in the Rovers half, attacking territory for Harbourside. That's certainly switched up a little bit in the last, say, 5 minutes or so. Alexander, again, looking to unleash Batty as the Rovers need to be perfect. Maddie Ma just let it fall nicely for the goalkeeper, and Hobenschild out to gather. Again, that stretch feed on the right side for Shea Batty is the intended target. Haven't really seen Erin Jensen impose herself on this game offensively yet. She is one of those now 5 players with the goal for Batty who co-lead Harbourside in goal scoring, each with 3. Has the added responsibility of the armband here as well today, with no Mary Nichols in the lineup for the home team. Rovers control. Just inside half. Played up. Good boot by Cassidy Byrne. Able to knock it away from Friesen. Ball falls nicely, though, for the Rovers, and they'll draw a free kick. This one will come about 25 yards out and right in the middle. Just a Harbourside player just down for a second, gathering her thoughts. That's Cara Dunlop. She's back up. Free kick will actually come back out a little bit. We'll call it 28 yards from goal. A couple of players around it for Rovers, Bacani, as well as the captain, Dolsal. Wall is set. 28, 29 yards out for Rovers. Looks like it'll be Dolsal to take a shot. Long way out. Oh, they score! From a long way out, Robotham had a play at it. I'm not sure if she misjudged or if it snuck through. For the Rovers back to back. And it's 2-1. Dolsal's free kick, her first of the year. And goals 3 minutes apart for the visitors. And they lead 2-1. Robotham was there. She had the gloves up. I'm not sure if it just went through. I'm not sure if it curved late. I'm not sure if it was a misjudge. She was around it. She saw it, but it finds its way in. And Joanna Dalsal, the captain, has her first on the campaign. It comes from a free kick just inside 30 yards. So Harbourside, after taking the lead in the 12th minute, now find themselves down 2-1 on the back of goals 3 minutes apart. Friesen, followed by Dalsal. And it is a 2-1 TSS advantage. Long ball down the left side. Taken by Alexander. She'll cross it. Intended for Shea Batty. It'll be a free kick. It'll go to Harbourside, though. It's going to come back effectively to midfield. The goals against for Harbourside, not necessarily a flattering number. In fact, we will take the water break at the moment here. So we're going to pause our on-screen clock, and we'll resync that once we restart. So we're going to take a drinks break. The goals against number for Harbourside this year, not a flattering one. They've conceded coming into action today 37 goals, not including the 2 that we've seen this afternoon. That is the second highest number in League One. However, 15 of those 37 coming back-to-back early in the year against a very, very good Natsumal team. So you wouldn't necessarily cancel those out, but perhaps more traditional scorelines than the 8-0 and the 7-1 that Harbourside were on the receiving end of in back-to-back games. In fact, back-to-back days with a home and away. They're right there with Rovers in terms of goals against. Rovers have conceded 20, I believe, off the top of my head. I don't have that one down written in front of me, but certainly that number is a lot closer. These two teams close, obviously, in points because of their records, both coming into action today with 5 wins. And a chance for Rovers to clinch playoffs here this afternoon. With that 1-point advantage, today included 2 games remaining. A win today for Rovers puts Harbourside's dreams of a playoff spot on hold for next season. or at least until next season. The Rovers, though, for their position in the standings, there's an argument to be made that they've been relatively inconsistent in their playing. Started the season with 3 losses in the opening 4 games. They had a tie mixed in there as well. Had some back-to-back wins in late May and early June, but since then they haven't had a back-to-back result. Tie, win, loss, win, loss, win, including their result last weekend that they're coming off. So haven't really been able to string that form together. Contrast that with Harbourside having a 4-game win streak snapped last weekend against the Whitecaps. Of course, Rovers coming off that 2-1 victory against Nanaimo last weekend. So the statistician says, hey, Rovers due for a loss based on recent form, but that's why you play the games. Long ball delivered into the area. Rovers try to clear. They get it past the outstretched and contorted body of Nicole Foglietta, trying to keep that in, but it'll go out for a throw. Long throw coming here from Foglietta. She'll get a bit of help with the wind as it's kind of coming across the field at the moment, but the throw straight to the head of a Rovers player. Machida trying to drag it away. Bouncing ball. It's finally gathered by Maddie Ma. She'll give a give and go to Isabella Picani, but it's taken back by Harbourside. Here's Karen Batty, left side. Looking to cross. She does. It's a good delivery, but it's right in on goal. And Hobenshield able to gather that one easy. That was probably the best delivery into the area we've seen from Harbourside this afternoon. Low with pace. There's just a miscommunication there between Byrne and Batty along this near side. It was a good tackle by Byrne. Tried to play it ahead, and then both of them sort of just ran away from it. Harbourside continuing to press here as again Machida and this time Byrne both looking at it, both thinking the other had it. Foglietta left side. Played up through Jensen, just wrong-footed her on the pass. Might have taken a deflection on the way through. And Hobenshield will clear out to middle. Good touch pass over to Batty, right side. Plays down to Machida. Delivers. Jensen in the area, trying to drag it with her. Open up, right foot. She's taken down in traffic. Harbourside won a call. They won't get one. Good challenge by Rovers down low in the 6-yard box. It'll go out for a corner. Jensen really able to make something out of close to nothing there. It was a good delivery. Had her back to goal. Did well to turn. Just never really found the room to get a shot away. We'll get our on-screen clock going back once more. As it's delivered into the area. Bouncing ball in the 6-yard box. And it's cleared away by Rovers. 28th minutes just opening now. And it's a throw-in, I should say, for Harbourside along that far side. 2-1 the score. Rovers lead. Goals coming 3 minutes apart. After Harbourside opened the scoring in the 12th minute. Corner kick. And Harbourside beginning to string together some sort of set-piece type plays. Throw-ins, corners, free kicks, the like. Just questioning the Rovers defense. Delivered high by Harbourside. Cleared back out off bodies, and it'll come all the way to the near touchline, and Larissa Stefanik will watch it, or check that, pardon me, Cassidy Byrne will watch that head out. Byrne, a long throw intended for Jensen, off the head of Aislinn Strisek, and out to center. Kara Dunlop played up and ahead. Jillian Stewartson trying to drag that one down, but it's taken away by Rovers. Friesen looking to unleash Elcom, but couldn't connect on it. Good play by Stefanik back for it. Dunlop first to it. Back to Robotham. Delivered left side, Karen Batty. Shoulder to shoulder with her check. That's Amanda Scott, who's got the assignment on her this afternoon. Nikki Verk on that far touchline. Rovers just getting pushed back, and they cough up the ball. Harbourside have it. Mashita will give and go with Jensen. Jensen, the touch pass, didn't have much on it. Stewartson had to be good and was. Plays left side for Karen Batty. Delivers to the middle, and it's headed up and to this near side for Shea Batty. Batty will make a play at it. Looking for the cross. She's got a couple of Rovers players on her. Has Byrne in support. And Batty will get taken down just outside the area. And Harbourside another free kick. Good work from Batty. It was an initial sell. It kind of looked like by her sort of body language she was going to let that go out for a throw. And then it made a last-second play at it. Just couldn't quite open up the cross. But did well to draw a free kick. And it'll be Cassidy Byrne to come in and take it. So Byrne on the free kick. Most up. Dunlop's back at midfield. Stefanik is 15 yards in front of her. I believe that's Stewartson, another 10 yards in front of Stefanik. Everybody else in the box. Byrne delivers off the outside of the boots and never threatened. "30 minutes gone in this one. Rovers a 2-1 advantage, looking to try and complete the sweep, and we'll get an early substitution. So coming off is going to be Isabella Picani. And she'll exit along this near side. And we'll get a read on who comes over to take her place along this left wing. So an early substitution, 30 minutes in. And it will be number 16, Jessica Fennell, to come in and take her place. So a goal kick here for Rovers.
Number 16, Jessica Fennell.
Byrne will let a ball roll out for a throw. Credit the Rovers Travelers for their support today. They've been excellent. Byrne just taking a few too many liberties with the location of the throw-in for the referee's liking. So Maya Creed comes into the game in the 32nd minute. Did not see who she took off, though. We'll do a quick scan to see who we can find. I believe that's going to be Stefanik, who has come off for Creed, and a ball out of play for a throw. So Creed and Dunlop, the two center backs. Stewartson's there, Foglietta's there, Byrne there. So it is indeed Larissa Stefanik. And probably an indication more than anything of just managing a bench in this heat. 28, 29 degrees. You're out there in the sun, tack on another 4 or 5. There's been a couple of hard runs as well for the defense. Dunlop has to make another one here. She does well to track down Holcomb. As the ball rolls right into the corner of the area, Robotham will gather. Cleared up high by Emily Robotham, right to midfield. And that's put out of play. A throw in for Rovers, pardon me. Sophia Ferrimo on the throw. Delivers to Fennell, the lone substitute for Rovers here this afternoon so far. We've had a couple of early subs. Stefanik off. We'll see sort of how that gets managed as the game rolls on. Jensen looking for a loose ball, but it will go for a Rovers throw. Fennell from Arrow. Rovers begin a breakout here along this near side. Elcom cuts to the middle. Pass intended on this near wall. Pardon me, is might have gotten our numbers a little bit mixed up here. Just trying to get a read on what came out. There we go. Just a discrepancy in the roster that we had to start versus the roster for the game itself. All good. Fennell delivers to the middle. Only the blue jersey of Foglietta there has an unimpeded header to be able to clear it out. Aislinn Strisek again crosses to center, falls nicely. Friesen has a chance on it, but Foglietta getting a boot first. It'll go out for a corner. Dangerous play there. Delana Friesen scored once already this afternoon. Tied the game at 1. Corner will come to this near side. Rovers take it short. They'll look to move their way in. Verk, edge of the area near side, delivers to the spot. Ball falls nicely, kicks back out. Friesen a chance. It's blocked, deflected, and into the out of bounds area for a corner kick. Good crowd here at Kikinishtuk Stadium in Nanaimo. Pleasure to have you on board for this afternoon's action. Harbourside taking on the TSS Rovers. Verk again looks to send one in. Machida got just enough of a touch on it, drew a free kick as well. Harbourside looked to take it quick. Byrne up to Shea Batty. She has the lone goal for the home team so far today. As Verk down the right side now as the 221s meet. Foglietta there. She'll just concede the throw and kick that out to the far touchline. Two 2-1 the score. Goals for Friesen and Dolsal 3 minutes apart. Friesen on a nice break. Dolsal from a free kick. Friesen gets it back. Delana Friesen just outside the area. Looks to get it to her right foot. She does. Dunlop able to gather, though, as it was blocked by a few bodies in front. And Dunlop made a nice play out to Karen Batty, left side. But she's stripped of it, and it's Strisek down. Kicks back out midfield. Jensen on it, but a free kick will go the way of Rovers as Verk taken down. Nikki Verk just a little bit ginger in getting up. Favoring a right foot there, just sort of a light limp. Seems okay and able to walk it off, though. And Dolsal will look to deliver with a free kick. Much further out than her goal-scoring efforts earlier this afternoon. This will be a cross into the area, top of the area, and it's headed away by Ava Alexander. Harbourside trying to counterattack quickly here, but Rovers send it straight back in. Robotham to gather. 8 or so minutes left in this first half. TSS a 1-goal advantage. It's 2-1. A win for them today, and they clinch 4th spot, the final playoff spot in League One. Any other results, and we have live games next week in terms of playoff implications. Faremo. Chipped up that far side. Corralled there by Elcom. Played it back, but Harbourside gather, and they have the numbers there. Foglietta delivers to the middle, intended for Jensen. Bypassed a couple of people. His Shea Batty just outside falls to Alexander. She shoots and it's parried over the crossbar. Wonderful, wonderful stop by May Harbourside on what was an opportunistic effort from Ava Alexander that very nearly paid off. Bit of a broken play. Shea Batty thought she had a chance. Erin Jensen was around it as well. And it was eventually Ava Alexander looking to add to her account. She has been fantastic. 3 goals so far this season in her 11 games, now 12, including today, as Alexander sharp-angled shot. And it's a leg save by Harbourside. Harbourside still pressing, comes back out. As Foglietta tried to check that Karen Batty, I should say, tried to deliver that with a high kick. It falls nicely for Rovers. Alexander had a pair of goals against Rivers. In fact, scored, pair of goals against Rivers. I'm going to say she scored all of her goals, but her third one was against the Highlanders on the road. She's been excellent the longer this season has gone on. Cara Dunlop. Back to Robotham. It's for Maya Creed, subbed on in the 32nd minute in exchange for Larissa Stefanik, who started in that center back role. A tackle just errant there, and Gillian Stewartson will have a free kick. Robotham will clear. Long. Up intended for Jensen. Never found its way quite there. Byrne will take the throw in. Just inside Harbourside's half of the pitch. Alexander tries to play that off the outside of the boots. Intended for Jensen. Rovers back in numbers though. Harbourside, I should say. Played up to Verk. Through the middle, Elcombe. Friesen there. Stripped of it, Machida. Now for Stewartson stepping up. Plays out left side, Karen Batty. Working, trying to get past Verk. Delivers to the box, but rolling through harmlessly. And taken by Harbourside. Just a quick whistle stoppage there from the referee. And Delana Friesen needs a little extra attention, so she's going to head off the pitch. Not a substitution. She's just going to come off and take a quick break and just get some attention on a medical matter, as I'm not quite sure. But Delana Friesen off, so Rovers down to 10 for the time being. There's a turnover. Here's Machida from a long way out. Gets a loose ball. Machida fighting her way through traffic. Unloads. Shea Batty, edge of the area, working her way in. Batty right on the edge of the 18-yard box, trying to get away. Crosses and puts it just in behind. Couldn't quite get the angle. Had 2 players on her. Delana Friesen still getting some attention over on the Rovers bench. She's actually made her way over to the bench. A little bit of action for Rovers out there, but still no substitution as Friesen remains off. Rovers look to run it out, run into Ava Alexander as she's taken down edge of the box. Harbourside wanted a call. Play will continue. Here's Karen Batty trying to open up a cross. She does. The left boot gets it back. Alexander just inside the area. She shoots and misses short side. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in this first half. Rovers lead 2-1. Goals to Friesen and Dosal 3 minutes apart, cancelling out to the opener from Shea Batty in the 12th minute. A little bit of a miscue and maybe another sort of injury-related stoppage here for Rovers, as Eslin Strisek just taking a bit of a stumble getting that ball, and she's kind of limping and trying to walk it off at the moment on her right side. Harbourside continuing to press. Friesen remains off the pitch, so Rovers remain a player down. Ball thrown in. It's all red jerseys around it, though, as Alexander knocks Strisek to the ground. That'll be a free kick. Daylana Friesen still remains off, so Verk.
Harbourside substitution into the game, number 16, Ella Ginyak.
So Ginyak coming on. Didn't even see her at midfield. But Ella Ginyak will come on. I believe that'll be a like-for-like replacement with Shea Batty. Just doing a quick scan. Ginyak has taken that right attacking midfield role. Perhaps Karen Batty, actually, now that I look at it. Regardless, Ginyak on this right side, taking where Shea Batty had been. Played to the middle for Erin Jansen. Ava Alexander around it as well. Ginyak, right side, just couldn't latch onto that one. So I believe it is Karen Batty, and Shea Batty has moved over to the left side. On just a little bit of a shuffle up front, and again, regular substitutions, you would imagine, in response to the weather conditions, to the heat. It is Shea Batty over that left side. So Karen Batty is the player off. As Rovers begin to work their way out left side. Foglietta trying to track a ball down. It goes through her, but harmlessly to Robotham inside the Harbourside area. Rovers still down a player as Friesen remains off the pitch. Hasn't been substituted, just on the bench. Would imagine she would stay off until the half. We are in stoppage time. Throw in for Rovers will come in front of their own bench. I think it must be some sort of cut on Friesen because she's had to change her jersey. I'm not sure if you got cut on her hand or what the deal is, but she's swapped jerseys. I'm just watching her on the bench there. It might be like a blood nose or some sort of cut, which is why she's off the pitch because she's not limping. She's not in any sort of distress. There's a battle there. Stewartson did well to come away with that one. Here's Ginyak. Now played up through. Here's Jensen on it. Flag stays down. Jensen right side centers. It'll be a corner. So Friesen is now in number 10. I'm just going to... I didn't see blood on her, but she's kind of holding her nose. I'm not sure if it's a blood nose or a cut on her face. But it's obviously meant that she can't use the 20 anymore. And she's hustling back to midfield to try and get in for this corner. Rovers are pointing at Friesen, asking to get her on for this. I'm not sure the referee is going to allow it. Alexander's ready, so Friesen has to stay off. Alexander delivers to the penalty spot, headed towards the goal. It's still dangerous, and it's cleared away for another corner kick. And Alexander will regather, and Friesen will re-enter. So Friesen now wearing number 10. Just keeps kind of going up to her nose. I'm going to assume that's a blood nose or some sort of cut on her face. And that's resulted in her bleeding on the jersey switch, etc. As it'll be a goal kick. Alexander, the delivery just a little bit too low. Should just about do it. We're in the finishing up the 3rd minute of stoppage time, and that is the half. So the TSS Rovers score 3 minutes apart, cancel out Shea Batty's opening goal 12 minutes in, and the Rovers lead by a score of 2-1. We'll take a timeout, and we'll come back in about 15 minutes or so for second half action here at Kikinishtok. TSS Rovers 2, Harbourside 1.
On behalf of Harbourside FC, a big thank you for League One BC Soccer action. We'll have the second half coming up here in about 15 minutes. Just a reminder, especially to the Swan Guardians, it's always fun to invest your hard-earned money in someone else's community. Come on, grab some food and drink at our food trucks and our White Sails beverage tent here on the far end of the pitch. Also like to give out some more thank yous as well to our good friends and supporters, Island Electric Company, Herald Engineering, West Bay Mechanical, Cedar Valley Dental Center, FYI Doctors. Also thanks to Wildwood Health, St. John's Ambulance, Footprint Security, Nanaimo Track and Field, City of Nanaimo, Vancouver Island University, and the Nanaimo News Bulletin. We thank them and you, the fans, for your support of Harbourside FC, League One, BC Soccer. Also a reminder, watch out for the folks selling the 50-50 draw in support of Habitat for Humanity, Mid-Vancouver Island. We'll be drawing that raffle number not too long from now. A couple more notes, if you'd like some merchandise, grab your replica jerseys, hoodies, hats, scarves, and more available at our ticket booth. And finally, for all the youth soccer players joining us, thanks for joining us again. If you'd like to train with the VIU Mariners student athletes and coaches, check out our VIU Mariners youth soccer camps, August 1st to 4th for boys, August 15th, 17th for girls. Register today at gomariners.ca. Just look for the links through camps. Moments away from our second half kickoff between TSS Rovers and Harbourside FC. The Rovers with a 2-1 advantage after the first half. Reminder to fans, pick up your tickets for our final home game of the season coming up Sunday, July 23rd. As Harbourside hosts Altitude FC, men at 1, women at 3:30. Once again, for tickets and more information, check out harboursidefc.ca.
Welcome back to Kickennistuck here in Nanaimo. It is second half action in a pivotal game for both of these teams. A win for the TSS Rovers. They secure fourth spot and a playoff position. A win for Harbourside, or frankly any other result other than a TSS win, pushes things to the final week of the regular season. Another substitution, as I believe it's Shea Batty has come off and Maddie Dawson has taken her spot. So the lone goal scorer for Harbourside here this afternoon is off, and we are underway here in this second half. Harbourside from my right to left, and Ava Alexander goes for a run. She gets a shot away, but not the quality which she would have wanted, and an easy save for the goalkeeper. Foglietta. Alexander lost it, and a free kick will come, as will a caution. And Ava Alexander gets a yellow card. Just coming in hard on the challenge of Maddie Ma. So Alexander in the book, first caution this afternoon.
Quickly letting fans know, we'll be cutting off sales for the 50/50 tickets at 5 p.m. this evening. If you'd like to purchase yours, head to the blue tents over by the food trucks here on the far side.
Everybody seems okay. Ma is fine, and we'll get underway. So it is just the one substitution at the half for Harbourside. Maddie Dawson comes in. Shea Batty comes off in that left attacking midfield role. Alexander Machida still working in that midfield role, central midfield role. Gillian Stewardson sort of playing a defensive midfield ahead of the two center backs of Dunlop and Creed. On the far side, working her way in, trying to hit Machida. Machida just inside the area, working her way, puts it back out. Gignac plays it in, intended for Jensen. Ball kicks out. Chance, Stewardson, long way out. Doesn't miss by much. Probably 6 feet or so wide of the goal, but a good chance and a good look from about 25 yards out from Gillian Stewardson. A little slower start to this one, and we'll see the continued use of the subs bench with the heat. It has clouded over a little bit. Very high, wispy cloud But cloud cover nonetheless, so that'll take a bit of the sting out of the heat, and provided the wind stays around, it's not too bad. But definitely encroaching 30 degrees out on the field as Alexander wore one right in the face. Tried to head that ball on, and I think just in the battle with Maddie Ma, instead took that off the cheek and immediately down. Erin Jensen having a quick chat with the referee. It was a one-sided conversation. Jensen speaking. Referee Hannah Browning extending her hands, not wanting to hear what Jensen had to say. Alexander looks okay. It'll be a free kick to Harbourside. And Foglietta from a long way out. 32, 33 yards out. There has been a couple of times this afternoon that Harbourside have asked for the 10 yards on the free kick, and it's actually brought the wall closer. It's at least the second time I've noticed in free kicks for Harbourside today. Here's Foglietta. Delivers high to the top of the area, looking for a friendly bounce. It comes off a Rovers player, Stewartson. Back to Dunlop, last player back. And kicks it up. That is Shea Badial on that far side, so she's not the substitute. I hadn't seen her in this half so far, so she's pushed over to the far side. Try to get a read on exactly who has come off. Maybe Cassidy Byrne. In fact, that is who it is. Cassidy Byrne all on that far side, so Gignac is slotted back in. So Cassidy Byrne coming off. Regardless, Batty remains out there. She is still in that attacking midfield role, and Dawson has come back up front. Batty gives back Machida. Streaking out far side, here's Dawson. Dawson delivers to the middle, just in behind Jensen. Hasn't found her groove today has Erin Jensen. 3 goals on the season, has had a couple of looks, but has been around others as Dunlop almost gave one away, tried to clear, came off the boot of Friesen. And Robotham will make no mistake, she'll send that one into touch. So Shea Batty and Erin Jensen kind of remaining up front, Dawson hovering in midfield with Ava Alexander and Saki Machida. Jillian Stewartson stepping up as well. As Maya Creed pushed off the ball, it'll be a free kick to Harbourside. Again, that cloud cover is just taking the sting of the sun away. It'll make for much more pleasant conditions, as we said, provided the wind stays around, which it has all day. So just you don't get that beating sun on you, which is probably making it a lot easier for players on the pitch. Ava Alexander, a glancing header ahead. She unleashes Dawson left side. Dawson looking to cut in, gets the right boot and a shot to goal, but it's reeled in by Hobenshield. Harbourside looking for an equalizer. High clearance from Hobenshield. Headed back towards middle by Foglietta. Machida, she's been good this afternoon. Dishes off Alexander. Through ball left side. Foglietta looking to run onto it, but a sliding tackle and a clear by Maddie Ma. Neutralizes any sort of chance on goal. Throw in will come along this near touchline. Foglietta, the long throw. Long throw to the 6-yard box. Trying to get one down as Dawson gets a shot away, but it's blocked in front and out for a corner. Harbourside, they're getting looks. They've had a good start to this second half. We're 7 or so minutes gone in it. Alexander will look to deliver. She does. Near post and out to grab it. A slight bobble, but nothing more than that. from Hobenschild. Low delivery to midfield, headed straight back by Harbourside. Machida trying to control, but all red jerseys around her, and they'll gather. Fennell. Back to Scott. Pressure is Jensen. In on, well, I guess what you call a forecheck if we were in hockey. But a good press and a high press to try and force an error. Fennell along that left side. There is the error that Harbourside were wanting, although Fennell good enough to get it back from Machida. Along the far touchline, and Harbourside will get a throw. Long throw delivered to Shea Batty along that right wing. Ball comes back out. Gignac trying to find it, and it's sent back down. It'll be offside, though. Just inside center. Or inside midfield, I should say. One of the substitutes from TSS Rovers wearing the number 24, Kyra Armenta. She was down on the list as 22 to start. Regardless, that's okay. We're in the 24, and Armenta scoring that game winner late last time out for Rovers, and this will be another offside as, again, just half a step ahead of the play. This time, Friesen getting caught. Good little 1-2 between her and Armenta. Roboth in the long clear left side. Dawson heads it towards the middle. Control. Jensen, good strip of the ball. Can't quite get it on a second try. Now she does. Jensen, sharp angle to the middle of the ball behind Machida. Second try, and it's sent wide. Now they score! Rovers will protest. They want a free kick. Nikki Verk pleading the case as Maddie Ma was down. The challenge originally from Jensen. Rovers will protest. Regardless, I believe it's Machida to find it. Down low, close to the goal line. And Harbourside tie this up at 2. There was a question whether there was a foul from Jensen on Ma. That, I imagine, is what Rovers are going after, because then Jensen was the generator able to try and get a chance. The pass initially thought they let them down. Machida had a crack at it. Everybody was around it. Batty as well. And finally, I believe it is Saki Machida to open her account this season, and Harbourside have tied this up at 2. That'd be one you'd have to have another look at, but Rovers feeling very hard done by on the challenge from Jensen on Ma. Referee saw it, let it go, and it winds up eventually in the back of the net. We'll see what the call is from field level, from the PA announcer. However, I believe it's Machida, and that would be her first. Ball falls to Jensen along this near side now. Harbourside looking to double up. She plays to the middle, and it's cleared up high, but not a lot of distance by Fennell. It goes to Gignac from Stewartson. Ella Gignac gets around one. Working her way in. Bodied off it. Pace is picked up here as ball gets kicked out. Armenta. Still on it. Played to the left side. Fennell. Dropped back, Strisek. Farimo. Ma. Over to the far side, Fennell. Rovers just slowly making their way upfield. Stripped though was Fennell. Check that, Friesen, and Jensen will get the ball. Plays it up and ahead, Shea Batty, but just out of her reach.
Harbourside goal.
And the call coming here from Matt Carter. And they're going to give it to Saki Machida. So her first in Harbourside colors, and we are tied at 2. As we were saying earlier, a TSS win clinches a playoff spot. A draw or Harbourside victory means we go again next week. A Harbourside victory would put them into 4th place at the expense of TSS. However, the Rovers would trail by only 2, and a combination of a Rovers win and a Harbourside loss next weekend would put them back in playoff. So still calculations both ways in terms of a 4th spot and a playoff picture. Friesen battling with Dunlop. That's been a good battle to watch all day. Comes back out. Maddie Ma from distance just grazes the crossbar. So Saki Mashida in the 56th minute. Her first. And we are all square at 2. Robotham will deliver a long clearance to midfield. Jensen able to knock it down first off the shoulder, then to the boot. Plays it right side. Shea Batty, nice turn and go. Can she catch up with it? Yes, she does. Batty along the right touchline, looking to work her way in. It'll be a goal kick. Good defensive read there. I believe that's Nikki Verkel on that left side. Batty beat her with a good move along the sideline, but Verk able to get back in position and force Batty to concede the goal kick. Dawson looking to track a ball down, but it rolls out of her reach. 60th minute, tied at 2. Benches still have options in terms of substitutions, but nobody in movement at the moment. Rovers have it. Megan Sue. Back to the goalkeeper. Hoban Shields. Ahead to Fennell. Shoulder to shoulder with her opposing number, Ella Gignac. Gignac looking to advance the ball down the right sideline. It'll go out of play for a throw. So if it stays like this, TSS obviously would retain their 1-point advantage over Harbourside. Harbourside would go to 17, TSS to 18 points. So nothing would really change, and we would push to next week. As here's a chance on a bad break from Foglietta. Ball falls nicely for the Rovers, trying to dance in, and Dunlop over to help out. Good regroup between Foglietta and Dunlop to deny that chance by Nikki Verk. She was able to take an opportunity away from the Harbourside defense, and both Foglietta and Dunlop denying anything of real danger. So as we were saying, if it is a draw, we basically move to next weekend. And both TSS and Harbourside are scheduled to play teams well below them in the standings. Throw-in will go the way of Harbourside. TSS have the Victoria Highlanders in Victoria. And Harbourside have Altitude. Just judging on standings, TSS have the easier of the two, but I mean, not by much. And you can see, barring some pretty lopsided results here and there, there is a good amount of parity in League One. So it could all come down to the final week of the regular season to decide that number 4 spot in the women's division. Dunlop able to get in the way of a cross. She's been excellent once more. Referee inadvertently gets in the way, and it will get whistled down. Rovers immediately wanted a call, and the referee will play the drop ball. And we will regroup once more. Here's a chance off the drop ball. A shot towards the net came off a Harbourside player, and Robotham tried to keep it in to avoid conceding the corner. Just wasn't able to do it. Corner will come along that far side. Lots of time to work, about half an hour remaining. tied up at 2. Shea Batty, 12 minutes in. Saki Mashita, 56 minutes for Harbourside. Counted out by 2 goals, roughly 3 minutes apart to Friesen and Dolsal for the visitors. Coming in the 17th and 20th minutes, respectively. The Swan Guardians get the drum up one more time. I mean, excellent visitors, great ambassadors for League One as well. Full credit to the Swan Guardians. Only about, I will say 10, maybe just under 10 making the trip over, but full credit to them. I've been noticing them on Twitter as well. They've been interacting with the different accounts and whatnot for Harbourside. And it's just good to see the support for League One. Full stop. Dawson's ball intended for Jensen was cut off by Rovers, and Fennell will come back left side. Sue is in support, bypasses her. Foglietta makes a pinch up, and here's a chance near side. Verk along the right wing will track a ball down, looking for a cross. Verk delivers into the area, header towards the goal. It's right in on Robotham. It was Friesen to get up and direct it to net, but Robotham knocks it down and holds on. At midfield, it's Stewartson for Shea Batty. Ball goes out of play, though. Still not a ton of movement on either bench. Both sides have made a few substitutions. By my count, Harbourside have made 3. Rovers 2. Dunlop shoulder to shoulder on a chance down that far side for Armenta, and it's just put out for a corner. So composed, Kara Dunlop on the back there. Yeah, not perfect because she's human, so makes a mistake, but my God, like just able to regroup. We've seen her and both Stefanik and Foglietta have to regroup after some bounces didn't go their way, and have been able to nullify any second attempts. And that composure, that stability in your back center pairing is so important. Jensen, a nice retrieval of a high clearance from Robotham. She'll go for a run. Jensen working her way, edge of the area, running through traffic, collides in, and a free kick will go against Jensen. As she and Maddie Ma become reacquainted. Nice run from Jensen, was able to drag a high clearance from Robotham down and control it well. And that will be the drinks break. So both sides will get a chance to have a little bit of a chat and see exactly where they want to go in this final 25 minutes or so. The Swan Guardians. It's time to hydrate. There's water in beer. Full credit to you. Well done. So this game evenly poised. 2 apiece. Harbourside looking to rebound after an 8-0 loss last weekend on the road against the Vancouver Whitecaps. TSS trying to find their consistency. It's been win-loss, win-loss, win-loss for them through much of June into July. Coming off a 2-1 win at Natsamau last weekend. Haven't had a back-to-back result, either a loss or a win, since June. Early June. Tie, win-loss, win-loss, and then last weekend the win. So trying to find that level of consistency. The major target up front, she's come as advertised, Elana Friesen, 6 goals heading into action here this afternoon. She has 1. So her 7th on the campaign puts her in outright 2nd in League One scoring. You counter that, I mean, behind Friesen, there's Verk with 3, Ma and Kavanagh with 2 each. They're the only other multi-goal scorers on this roster. You compare that to Harbourside with Shea Batty's goal this afternoon. Now 5 players have scored 3 goals. And then you've got some additional support in there as well. Wilkinson with a pair, Hartwich, Dawson, and now Saki Mashita with tallies each. Both teams had 20 goals coming into action this afternoon. 2 each here today so far. Do we have one more? Do Rovers clinch a playoff spot? Do Harbourside take pole position in theirs? In their quest for a playoff spot? We'll wait and see. So important to note, the game clock, we usually try to sync it up with the clock here at the stadium. It did not stop during the drinks break stoppage. We did notice during the men's game that it did stop. So we've paired ours with the referee's whistle. So that's kind of what will go off on time remaining, but we will keep an eye. It could be very, very important in terms of stoppage time remaining, as Ava Alexander just getting an arm up high on a challenge there by Megan Sue. Foglietta just inside half. Foglietta's delivery, it's low, just bypasses Alexander. Jensen had a chance at it, but couldn't quite connect on it. Friesen gives into support. Verkel on this right side, Dunlop there. Just played position and then sprints back along this right side. Verkel will get to it first. Foglietta takes over, and then a delivery to the middle. Falls nicely for Dunlop to clear it. Mashita. Jensen. Supportal on the left side through Dawson. Uses her now, but the pass just out of reach and couldn't connect. Bit of movement now on the Rovers bench. Substitute preparing to come on. That's Lauren Ebel. Not a whole ton of action for Harbourside. Through the middle, Friesen looking to split the D. She's shoulder to shoulder with Dunlop. Dunlop wins that battle, though, one-on-one. Able to turn the ball back out to midfield. Verk right side. Ball up and ahead. Alexander tracking back. She'll out-hustle her check to it. Maddie Ma. Those two have had a fun battle all game. Substitute coming in, so it will be Lauren Ebel coming on. And Nikki Verk. Thought initially she was going to come off, but instead it's going to be Megan Sue. So a brief cameo for Sue. She'll make her way off. I think the Swan Guardians just busted out some Bohemian Rhapsody as well. They've got a wide repertoire. Ava Alexander left side. She's got 3 on her. And Rovers draw the free kick. So free kick just along the sideline.
Into the game, number 6, Lauren Ebel.
About 25 or so yards out. Delivered high by Ma. Top of the area, headed away by Mashita. She's got the game-tying goal. As Verk was trying to receive a pass, she would have been a mile offside. Bypasses her, goes out for a goal kick. Next action for Harbourside here in Nanaimo is Sunday. Next Sunday, a week from tomorrow. They'll host Altitude in the final home games of the regular season. Of course, potential playoff implications still to be decided. Verk trying to turn and fire. Check that part of me. Armenta trying to turn and fire. Ball kicks out near side. Here's Ebel. Shoulder to shoulder with Dunlop. Dunlop just playing position and gets the goal kick. Double substitution coming here for Harbourside. Shea Batty will come off. And Ava Alexander will come off as well. The double substitution and some fresh legs in the attacking areas and midfield as well. Courtney Ingram comes into a central midfield role, and then Carly Ray comes in to basically take Jillian Stewartson's spot. So she's shuffled in the formation back into a central defender role. So Ray and Ingram back in midfield. Machida has moved up as well. So Jensen the striker, Machida and Dawson the attacking mids, and then the midfield now of Ingram and Ray. And then your 5 on the back anchored by Dunlop in the middle. Creed and Stewardson, the center backs, and then your 2 wing backs in around it as well. Ball put out of play, a Harbourside player just taking a bit of a knock in traffic. And Gignac is just going to head off for a second just to get a little bit of attention. So Harbourside temporarily down to 10. And I believe it's Gignac who might have just taken a knock around the mouth or her nose as she's headed off and just getting some extra attention. Not too dissimilar to Friesen back in the first half. So Harbourside down to 10. They'll need to be careful. Here's Machida playing it down the right side. Jensen running onto it. She's still got 2 to beat, but has support. Dawson to the middle. A ball just out of her reach. Dawson will try to track it down, but it rolls out of play for a throw. Nice chance by Erin Jensen. You feel just hasn't had the opportunity to break free here today. Closely guarded, a couple of passes in behind her. Obviously instrumental in the game's second goal. But outside of that, just has struggled to sort of impose the way that she wants to go about things on this game. Rovers begin the breakout. Strisek. Still controlling, there's the captain Dosal. On the far side for Remo. Ball out, and it'll be a throw-in. Coach Bobby Taylor on that far side wanted a free kick, or at least a Harbourside throw. It'll go a free kick to Rovers, with Taylor standing right on the edge of her technical area. Verk plays left side. Running onto it, that's Fennell. Delivers back. Verk trying to work her way into the penalty box. She does. Has support. Friesen! A left-footed shot deflecting off a Harbourside defender up high and grabbed by Robotham. Stewardson. Little give and go. She gets it back. Plays it up through the middle. Courtney Ingram. Ball falls. Verk turns it back. Stewardson will get a second try. She'll go back to Robotham. Dawson got a boot on it. It'll bounce away off a Rovers player out of play. Megan Liniger on the pitch now as well. As a substitute, first touch of the ball for her so far this afternoon. Didn't quite see who came off, however. As Jensen trying to track down a loose ball, couldn't quite get it. Just trying to do a quick scan. I'm not seeing the number 11 of Maya Creed out there. And Ava Alexander remains on there. She I initially thought was substituted, so maybe it was Alexander stayed on and Creed came off. The substitutions sort of happen so quickly, it's tough to grab them sometimes, particularly from our vantage point here at Kikinishtuk. So it's Liniger, Dunlop, Stewardson. There's Creed over the far side. on the back end. And then, of course, Gignac is currently off the pitch. There's your 5. And then Ray and Ingram in the middle. And you got Alexander, Jensen, and Dawson up front. But Harbourside just trying to figure out their formation here at the moment. Here's Verk trying to dance her way in. Lost control of the ball. Comes back out near side Maddie Ma. Gives it back. Verk will go for a run. Comes off a Harbourside body. Falls nicely for the Blue Shirts. Able to clear that out. Good push from Rovers here late. About 10 or 12 minutes remaining. And Rovers looking for a goal which would send them to playoffs. Harbourside looking for their 5th win in 6 games. Had a 4-game win streak snapped last weekend against the Whitecaps. Dunlop's been excellent. Ball comes off the boot of Verk. Goes for a throw-in. Deep in Harbourside territory. Creed. Up to Dawson. Ball falls down from Meshita. She's got the game-tying goal. Earlier in this second half, Ingram just outworks. Gets it to Alexander. With some speed down the left side, Alexander looking for Jensen. Finds her. Back to goal. Gives back. Alexander on her left foot. Trying to find it. Return it to Jensen. Just couldn't quite get a handle. Meshita from distance. Wide. Good look from Zaki Meshita. Scored once already. Confidence is there. Relatively wide of the goal, but still a good chance. So Lineker on this left wing back roll. So Ella Gignac must have been substituted off with whatever issue took her from the field initially. So to be Lineker, Dunlop, Stewardson, Ray, and Creed, the 5 in the back. Ingram, Meshita in the central midfield role. And then Alexander, Jensen, and Dawson up front. Ball given away. Here's Friesen. Again, another battle for Dunlop. She tracks across. Friesen tried to play that ahead and was just sliced off the ball by Dunlop. Meshita to Ray. Back to Meshita. Stewardson has some time. Robotham cleared up high over the head. Ingram read it well. Bouncing ball falls nicely again for Ingram. Using body position, trying to get it away from Scott, but Rovers take control. Strisek. Fennel. To the middle there for Armenta. Now for Friesen. Threatening. 30 yards out. Delivers right side. Ma. Over. One more for E-ball. Chance. And well over the goal. And wise. Under 10 minutes remaining in this second half. We are tied up at 2. Rovers win. Clinches 4th place. A Harbourside win or a draw. And we go to next week. Rovers are in Victoria against Highlanders. Harbourside have altitude here. Ingram, left side. Jensen gets control of it. Looking for some support, finds Ava Alexander. In the middle, through ball. Jensen just didn't quite have the legs on it. As Ma was back for it, or check that part of me, Amanda Scott. And it's cleared away by Rovers, but a nice give and go through midfield. With speed, Nikki Verk. Looking for the through ball, but it was in behind Fennel. And Robotham quickly out. Goalkeeper to goalkeeper. And it'll be gathered on the pass, or the clearance, by Hobenshield. Ball put up Ray. Trying to drag it down 1-on-3, and Rovers able to keep control of it. Ma sends that down the right side. It's taken by Friesen. Not wearing her familiar number 20. Had to sub it for the 10 jersey due to what I'm assuming is either a cut on her face or a bloody nose. Just wasn't able to wear that jersey. Was kind of looking and clutching at her face when she was off the pitch for a while in the first half. As offside will be the call. Once the referee sees the flag, the linesman's just going to stay there. Fennell just taking advantage of coming from an offside position. Less than 10 minutes remaining. Looking for a go-ahead marker, if there is one more. The men's game finished a 3-2 advantage for TSS after coming back from a 2-1 deficit. Harbourside looking to try and flip the script, find a 3-2 win of their own. Scoring has not been a challenge in their recent games. The 8-0 results to the Whitecaps last weekend aside, 13-4. Harbourside have outscored their opponents during their 4-game win streak. Alexander at left wing. Delivers up for Jensen. Pass just well over her head. Coach Bobby Taylor, the most active on the Harbourside bench. No substitutes actively getting ready. Still some moves to make. Rovers a free kick. Delivered long, but fell nicely for Stewartson. Plays to Ingram. Back to Dunlop. She'll chip it down the left side. Alexander will go for a run. Back for it is Scott, and she'll concede the throw. Didn't have a whole ton of options. Couldn't really go to the middle. Megan Lineker will come in to take, you assume, a long throw, but not a whole ton of bodies gathering in the box. She'll instead go short. Alexander off her side, trying to work her way in, clutching onto the ball, but while on the ground, it'll be a free kick. Verk. Left side, Fennell. Now back to Verk. Rovers controlling. Is there one more? Maddie Ma, right side. Rider still for Lauren Ebel. Ball through the middle, just off the chest. And it is indeed a nose, a blood nose or a knocked nose, as Friesen has, I guess, the paper towel or the toilet paper or whatnot from at least one of the nostrils. So that can't be easy either, trying to get breath and whatnot. And Alexander giving up a free kick. Just a little bit of a clumsy challenge. Referee will call her over. Just keeping the boots down. One of those ones that, if it goes wrong, definitely reckless. But Alexander on the right side of it this time. Ebel. Working her way down the right sideline. Kept close watch by Lineker. Ebel able to get around, trying to deliver. Does to the middle, Friesen. Everybody campaigning for it, and Rovers get a corner kick. Just a handful of remaining minutes in stoppage time. Score clock at the arena is about 2 minutes ahead of where we are on screen, but on screen is more reflective of the whistle during the drinks break. Regardless, it doesn't matter what we have on screen or what's on the screen here at the at Kikinishtuk. Only matters what's on the referee's wrist. Scott with the throw. Finds Ma left side. Hoofing it. Down the touchline was Lineker. Alexander to go for a run after it. As Dolsal back for it. Cleared away by the keeper. Ball falls into no man's land. Ingram trying to run onto it. Got kind of in the way with the referee, but Jensen able to get a hold of it. Here's Machida from distance. Gives over to Liniger left side. Touch pass back to Ingram. Trying to find something. Crosses over, but just out of the reach of Dawson. To the score. If it stays this way, next weekend's games will mean a lot. TSS will still have the advantage. They have that 1 point advantage. So Harbourside, I should say, would need help from Victoria. And basically they would be looking for, obviously, a Victoria win or a tie. And then that combined with a Harbourside win against Altitude next weekend would send Harbourside into playoffs. Creed down that right side, working her way down low. Harbourside continuing to push. Rovers are about to make what looks to be a double substitution here late for some late legs. Verk down the right side, looking to turn the Harbourside D. Liniger will concede the throw. Lauren Ebel drops it off. Friesen looking to turn, get away from Dunlop, but Dunlop did well, played the body, and comes away with the ball. Here's Jensen. Drops it back. Carly Ray, the chip, and now a chase from Alexander. How much is left in the tank? Enough to get the ball into the left corner. She goes, closely watched by Dolsal. Alexander crosses. Jensen just over her head, kicks back out. Ray toes it towards the area, but it's cleared back out to midfield. Liniger to Ingram. Touch pass just the wrong side of Ray. And Verk will take it. Friesen trying to unleash her. Shoulder to shoulder. Stewartson able to tow it away, and Friesen hits the deck in the challenge. Robotham out to grab and clear down that far touchline. Less than 5 minutes left in regulation, and this will be a double substitution for Rovers. It'll be Jessica Fennell coming off. She was a substitute in the first half, and it'll be Nikki Verk. No, she's going to stay on. Who's the second coming off? And it's going to be Armenta coming off as well. So Fennell and Armenta off. And then we'll get reads on who comes on, but a double substitution right at the end of stoppage time. Robotham looks to deliver. Does, but it's another keeper-to-keeper pass, and Rovers have it into the game. So Georgia Gemmell and number 15 coming in once more. Number 15, pardon me, Haley Issel are the two in. Offside against Rovers along that far side. Rovers don't like that offside call. Free kick will come basically right in the middle of the Harbourside half. Stewartson takes it back to Robotham. Robotham clears down the left side. Jensen, does she have something? Gets it back. Ray trying to tow it ahead. Falls nicely is Creed. Now ahead, Alexander trying to latch onto a loose ball, but a good defensive play. And cleared out for a corner. No signal of amount of time for stoppage. So your guess is as good as mine. The clock here at the stadium has gone to 90 and stopped. Our clock on screen was aligned with the referee's whistle. Nearing that now, and a header towards the goal, and it's just wide. 2-2 the score. As we've been saying, if it stays like this, TSS still with the advantage for that fourth spot. Harbourside would need them to drop a point or two, or I guess 2 points or 3 points in their final game against Highlanders next weekend. Of course, Harbourside would also need to then do the job against Altitude. Saki Mashida heads that one up. Shea Batty got the game scoring underway for Harbourside, 12 minutes in, her third of the year. Throwing in front of the Harbourside bench. Maya Creed has it. Long throw, edge of the area here as Mashida just kind of came up off her arm by the looks of things. It'll be a goal kick. Not sure if the handball got called, but it'll be a goal kick, so essentially the same result. Into stoppage time now comfortably, no matter which clock you want to look at. The only one that matters, though, is the referees, and we are tied at 2. Mashida to Stewartson, looks to kick it ahead, but straight back to Horbenshield. High to midfield. Almost off the backside of Dunlop, she got turned around in the jump. Rovers, maybe one last push. Delivers to the middle, Verk. Couldn't advance it ahead, falls nicely for Ingram. Back, unintentionally gave it to Friesen. Dunlop's had her number all game. Creed, right side, and that'll do it. So next weekend's games mean a whole heck of a lot for the TSS Rovers and Harbourside FC through 90-odd minutes. Nothing could be settled. Rovers will keep their 1-point advantage in the standings. Harbourside need to do the job next weekend against Altitude and get some help from their South Island neighbors. 2-2 the score. Shea Batty opened the scoring 12 minutes in. Rovers countered with a pair of goals 3 minutes apart through Delana Friesen at the 17-minute mark, and then Joanna Dorsal from a free kick 3 minutes later. It was 2-1 after 45 minutes, and then Saki Mashida finding a loose one tight to the net, able to score her first of the season at the 56th minute, and it is a 2-2 score through 90. Thanks so much for joining us here today on behalf of everyone associated with the broadcast. Thanks so much for watching or listening and spending a little bit of your Saturday with us. We'll be back here at Kikinishtuk Stadium next Sunday as Harbourside FC wrap their first regular season in League One and a chance for the women's team to hit playoffs in that fourth and final spot. Thanks so much for watching or listening. We'll talk to you next week as Harbourside FC take on Altitude here at Kikinishtuk. Bye now.